In a quiet village surrounded by palm trees and red dusty roads in southwestern Nigeria, lived a humble farmer named Ayo and his devoted wife, Sade. Ayo was a man of strength and honor. Every morning before the rooster crowed, he carried his hoe across his shoulder and walked toward his farm at the edge of the village. His wife, Sade, was known for her kindness. At the village market, she sold fresh vegetables with a smile that could brighten anyone's day. Together, they had three children. Tunde, the responsible eldest, Bose, the clever daughter, and little Kunle, whose curiosity knew no limits. Life was simple, but it was not easy. Music becomes slightly tense. One year, the rains did not come. The river began to dry. The crops turned yellow before they could grow tall. The soil cracked beneath the burning sun. Every evening, Ayo returned home silent, worry written all over his face. But Sade refused to let fear enter their home. Sade, gentle, hopeful tone. Hard times do not last forever. To help the family, she woke up before dawn to prepare fried bean cakes and pap to sell in the next village. Tunde repaired fences with his father. Bose wove baskets to sell at the market. Even little Kunle fetched water without complaining. They worked together, like fingers on the same hand. Music softens, mysterious tone. One afternoon, while clearing a dry patch of land, Ayo's hoe struck something hard. He bent down. It was an old clay pot buried in the soil. Inside were coins and pieces of silver. For a moment, his heart raced. This could change everything. He could feed his family, fix their leaking roof, end their struggle. But the land did not belong to him. It belonged to the village chief. That evening, Ayo gathered his family. Ayo, firm but calm. This treasure is not ours. We must return it. The children were disappointed, but Sade nodded proudly. Sade, what we keep wrongly will never bring peace. Music builds with emotion. The next morning, Ayo presented the clay pot to the chief. The chief was shocked. Chief, impressed. You could have kept this, Ayo, but I would have lost my honor. The village elders were called. After a long discussion, the chief stood before the villagers. A man who protects the truth deserves protection. The treasure was shared between the village and Ayo's family. And more than that, the chief gifted Ayo a fertile piece of land near the river, land that never dried up. Music becomes uplifting and hopeful. When the rains finally returned, Ayo's farm flourished. Their home was filled with laughter again. But the greatest reward was not the land, not the silver. It was the respect of the entire village. Music soft, emotional closing. And so the story of Ayo and Sade was told to every child in the village, not because they were the richest, but because they were united, because they were honest, because they stood together in hard times. And the elders would always say, a family that stands together in the dry season will dance together in the rainy season.